does Algorand's US dollar coin need more liquidity? There's a post here exploring this idea, and I've got some thoughts on it too, so why don't we take a look. So this is from Andrew Kotulek, and he says, I'm biased, of course, but this is very critical to creating a robust and usable, well, actually, let's back up. Let's back up because this came from Eldar, and you know, Eldar has been a friend of the channel. We follow each other, usually has good stuff. He said, okay, please listen, Algorand Foundation. There needs to be more liquidity on the Algo USDC pair for people to consider using Algorand DeFi for larger tickets. Example, small algo buy 4K results in 700 more algo received on central exchanges. This is a serious problem. Please deploy your USDC immediately. And Kimchi Block, who's also a friend of the channel, said, I don't understand why they don't understand this. Although they mentioned legality as an issue once, probably that's why we need more VCs to inject more liquidity. Also, we need better incentives for LPing. Both Tinyman and Packfire are doing an amazing job for the chain, but we need more. I'll touch on that point a little bit later. And this is where Andrew came in. He said, I'm biased, of course, but this is very critical to creating a robust and usable DeFi ecosystem. From my talks with legal, it's very doable. Accounting is a bit of a B, but also doable. Also incentivizes token growth as if algo goes up. It allows an easy way to DCA out, earn yield, and not constantly dump on holders. VC on Algorand are non-existent essentially, or I'd say that would be another great liquidity partner. I want to skip ahead to this part. Hindsight is 2020. Programs like TDR should have had a focus on this as well. And honestly, I take responsibility as a leader in DeFi for not pushing more robust programs that made sense long term. I thought DeFi would boom, and it started to, wrong too, but it's clear we need stickiness within the ecosystem. $20 million in DEX with only about 6 to 7 million in Algo USDC makes whale activity next to impossible. Yeah, it's basically just saying there's not enough USD, there's not enough liquidity on these pools. And there's not much incentive to. In fact, they actually, the foundation basically added incentive to stake and run nodes, and that takes liquidity from the DEXs because what's your incentive to do so? Now, some people are using T-Algo, but T-Algo isn't Algo. So I'm not sure how that impacts that either, but I know that my favorite pool to be in used to be USDC Algo, and the fees were insane. But you also got rewards, and now you don't get those same rewards. You get a very small, teeny tiny rewards for running USDC Algo. It's not incentivized, at least on Tinyman. I don't know about the other ones. And this is kind of a problem because that was one of my best ones. And now, like, it's really not incentivized to do that anymore. Most people are incentivized to run a node instead, or to use like liquid staking tokens. And that means the volume isn't necessarily there. Now he says something, I am more than happy to walk through liquidity strategies and present economic research of why TVL does matter if it's true and deployed to strategic pairs. TVL is an interesting metric because it can be a little misleading. If you see TVL going up, but that's just a matter of the price going up, then you might be fooled to think, oh, more liquidity is locked on the chain. That's total value locked, by the way. Unless you measure it in the coin itself, but then that doesn't necessarily mean that can be hard for people to visualize sometimes. But if you measure it in US dollars, then it's also impacted by the price. So it might not be quite a measure of what you think it is, but I do think it is an accurate measure of those dollars being locked. And if there's more dollars, if it's worth more, so it's true, but it's also possibly misleading, I guess, is the point I'm making. But yeah, very interesting point, and I'd love to hear more discussion on this.